The Overwatch 2 Season 2 support buffs are here, although they're maybe not as good as we thought they were going to be based off communication from Blizzard. But we do have some information here from the lead balance dev, and we can go into detail on that in this video. But yeah, the big question is, what is going on with supports? Well, let's take a look at this. So this is one of the hero-wide updates that came out in Season 2. This is to the damage roll passive. So if you take a look at this, no longer provides a movement speed bonus. This is just a DPS heroes, remember. And reload speed bonus is increased from 25 to 35%. And the developer comments here are, we've decided to remove increased movement speed from the damage roll passive and, in turn, make the reload speed more significant. While the additional movement speed was a helpful indicator the passive was active, we saw change in speed negatively affecting the ability to aim precisely. Now, okay, I agree with that, but I think here, this is kind of like an indirect buff to support heroes because, well, DPS are not running fast. They're not being able to chase you down quicker. They're not being more annoying when they're trying to kill you. So this actually is a little bit of a buff to supports rather, but I don't think it's massive. But do remember, I think this will help a little bit. But like I said, it's not going to be huge. Right then, let's take a look at these individual changes. So this one, I've got to put this one first. It's Mercy. I mean, look at this. Developer comments, this is a change that will enable Mercy to better defend herself or even go on the offensive at times. In 5v5, these situations occur much more often. So what they've given Mercy here is like sleight of hand. She can whip the pistol out faster. So she's got weapon swap time reduced from 0.5 to 0.35 seconds. Which, yeah, isn't really a lot. And the blaster, the ammo has been increased from 20 to 25. Now, I don't think any Mercy mains out there were really dying for this change. When we talk about support buffs to make the role more engaging to play, make the role more interesting, make the role, I don't know, more survivable, just make the role better to play, because it is still the most difficult role to play in terms of, I don't know, well, playability. It's a bit, it's still a bit difficult to play. Giving her 5 extra bullets and letting her pull out a pistol faster, I don't think that's really it. Now, the other change is Ana. We're not going to cover the Kiriko change in this video because all Kiriko gets is a nerf to her ultimate and quality of life changes. She gets a bit more ammo as well in a kunai, so maybe a mini buff there. But again, there's not much change there for Kiriko. But for Ana, the developer comments here are Sleep Dart is still one of the most powerful and crowd control abilities in 5v5. Though, with the addition of cleanse mechanics to offer a potential counter to this effect, we're more comfortable with reducing the cooldown here to improve Ana's personal survivability. Now, I think most people, after they read that, would think, okay, cool, we're going to get like a massive reduction in Sleep Dart, but then the cooldown's been reduced from 15 to 14 seconds. It's 1 second. Now, I don't think this makes any difference. It's just... a lot of people have been saying this feels like a bit of a slap in the face to supports, and it kind of does. If you're an Ana or a Mercy main, you look at these changes and you're like, you're joking me, Blizzard. We've just gone through Season 1 and it's been pretty bad for us, and we're expecting these big changes in Season 2, and this is what you give us at the start of the season. And remember, Doomfist is really strong right now in the game, and what does Doomfist like to do? He likes to dive into the backline and destroy the support. So again, you've got another tank and another target to deal with if Doomfist is on the enemy team. And not to mention, actually, Ramatra's barrier is mega annoying because he can just drop it and it cuts line of sight off. In fact, when I've been playing Ramatra, I'm using the barrier to just cut the supports off from the team. It is super annoying, especially if you play Ana, because then you just can't heal your tanks and then they just die. So Alec Dawson, who is the lead Overwatch 2 balance dev, held a Twitter space yesterday before the patch went out and just very briefly went over what the patch was about and what the changes are about. But then he held a Q&A after that where people could ask him questions. Now, I want to show some of the answers here that he actually gave. So first, we're going to take a look at this. So Skisti is like an absolutely top 500 amazing Mercy player. And this is what she says. Regarding Mercy, it was mentioned that she was way high up there in high ranks. How is this determined? From my experience, the only players playing Mercy at higher ranks are those that specialize her. Anyone else would choose any other support than Mercy. And this is what Alex says to that. We look at win rate, then see if there's a significant enough data set for the hero in that rank range, pick rate, and then try to dig into the details of the match itself, or of a match itself. Would love to touch on data more in the future. In the highest ranks, Mercy is top 3 win rate and pick rate. So she goes on to say, respectfully, as a Mercy main, as a Mercy in high rank myself, I can't believe Mercy is top 3 when it comes to pick rate in GM. A glance at the leaderboards even shows you that top 500, and the reasons that she's being picked by non-Mercy players is likely due to Sojourn. And Alex says, in GM for Pickrate, it goes Kiriko, Mercy, Ana, Lucio. Sojourn definitely has an effect. So I think what this shows us is when Blizzard are looking at the highest level here, they're looking at Pickrate and they're saying, actually, Mercy is the second highest picked support, so we don't really need to buff her that much, so we'll just leave her as is. I guess there's a ton of problems with that, and I mean, I'm pretty sure that isn't their only approach. It can't be that simplistic, but it's more so about who is being picked, because that, yeah, it does correlate to their power level of the hero, but it's more about like the enjoyment factor of playing the heroes. That's the big issue I think players have got with support. It just feels like you're out there hoping that your team actually do stuff, and that maybe you can survive an engagement with some sort of flanker DPS, or maybe you can sleep that Doomfist about to smash your brains out or whatever. It's not really about pick rate, is it? Alec was then asked, why did supports this patch get so few changes compared to other roles? Mercy's pistol change and a 1 second reduction on sleep dart doesn't do much to help fix the issues of support struggling to help carry the team. And this is what he says to that. Overall, we see the pressure on supports coming from a few heroes. Hopefully, the Sojourn change in this patch can alleviate a good amount of that pressure. We'll definitely make more changes as we move forward to continue that goal. So, right, the Sojourn nerf is actually quite extensive to her range damage. That's the way to look at it. So, her railgun, when it's fully charged, has got less crit multiplier, so it's not going to instantly kill you, and it's got the damage fall off kicks in at a shorter range, so no longer is it over 70 meters, it's 40 meters. So this means if she is trying to assassinate like Ana or whatever in the backline, she can't do it with a fully charged railgun shot, which obviously you know, that is a big bonus, but she's still going to do a chunk of damage to you, and there still is that potential for someone to follow up. But yeah, that is again one of these sort of like stealth buffs when it comes to supports. It does make it a little bit better. You're not going to get deleted as easy from the game, but then maybe we just see loads of Widowmaker getting played or whatever, and then your life is just maybe a bit of a mess. Can we expect to see some support balance changes in the near future? Not just numbers, but more aggressive changes like new abilities or some sort, replacement for Briggle and Mercy Res in mind. Please help us solve the queue times. Thanks and good job. And Alex says to this, we have something we like design-wise for Brig's ult, but it does require additional resources, art, VFX, etc. Still figuring out exact timelines for the change. So this gives us a bit of info here. So if they're actually piling that much into it, so they need new art for this, that means they need like a new icon. VFX is obviously visual effects. They're going to obviously change the way it looks again. This means that she's probably getting a total rework to her ultimate, and Inspire probably won't be the ultimate it is now. And let's be honest, Inspire isn't that great anyway. It's like a Junker Queen commanding shout, but an ultimate version of it, and it's just not as good. And commanding shout's like, what, every 13 seconds is it or something? Yeah, oh dear. So, but good news, Brig's getting looked at, because Brig is one of the weaker supports in the game right now. And also, she's just kind of bland to play, so it's good news that Blizzard are looking at that. In Overwatch 2, the support role has the fewest players, bottlenecking the role queue. Why do you feel that happens, and what can be done to address the problem through hero design? And Alex says, there are a number of things we are still looking at to help support feel better in the short, medium term, balance and certain systems. Long term, though, we'll be making additional support heroes. For some time, every 4 heroes, you'll see 1 tank, 1 DPS, and then 2 supports. So it would have been nice if we went into detail on what these systems could be. But this is saying that, look, they are prioritizing new hero design, new support hero design. But the one thing we've got to remember here is heroes come out every other season of Overwatch. We've got Ramattra this season, so in 9 weeks' time, we won't be getting a new hero. In fact, it'll be 9 weeks after that. So 18 weeks later, we'll be then getting another hero. And so there's a hero every other season. So yeah, you can say 1 tank, 1 DPS, then 2 supports. We're going to be waiting a long time for new heroes, basically. You know, this is years into the future. So this isn't really something that's going to fix what's going on in the game right now. All right, guys, thank you for listening and watching the video. What I want you to do in the comments below is let me know how you've been experiencing support so far in Season 2. I'll be honest, it's just been a Doomfist in my face, and the rest of it kind of feels the same. I'm just hoping that my actual DPS come back into line of sight so I can heal them. Especially if I'm playing Ana, or I'm just increasingly thinking to myself, I'll just carry on playing Moira because I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. All right, guys, I've been Stylosa. Thank you for listening and watching the video. Remember, if you do like the video and subscribe to the channel, that helps a ton. And yeah, I'll catch you lot on the next one. See you soon.